morning. Yeah, it's July 1st. Happy Canada Day. Yeah. Mm. Oh, wow. Happy Canada Day. Mm. As I've said before, Canada is a work in progress. A country trying to become better today than it was yesterday. And this is a good thing, and it does compare very favorably with the American position of having already achieved perfection and therefore having no need for self improvement or indeed even self reflection. Canada is a nation founded on self reflection. It's a nation founded on self improvement. It is a nation founded upon trying to be better. And this is what makes us unique as a country, the desire to become better. No other country has this. Every other country takes the position either that they are already perfect or that they are hopelessly unable to accomplish anything greater than to be the henchman of somebody bigger and stronger, the slave of somebody bigger and stronger, the resource base of somebody bigger and stronger. Yeah. And it's that slave mentality that keeps far too many so-called third world countries from accomplishing anything at all. Well, that and the presence of CIA mercenaries. Yeah. To make sure that the governments of these countries know their place. Yeah. Pardon me. We Canadians don't have that yet. We do, however, have Pierre Poilievre, a man who is hoping to become our next Prime Minister. And he is, well, as a backbencher of the Harper Tories, he was notorious for simply being the nastiest and most unpleasant person in the history of politics. He made up for his complete lack of any ideas by just being nasty. And this apparently appealed to some people. Kind of the way that Trump appealed to some people, despite having nothing to offer. And like Trump, Poilievre is very much of the leopard who's going to eat the other people's faces. Yeah. And his voters are going to cheer for him because he's going to hurt the people they hate. And of course, the people that they hate are the people like me who don't want to become Americans. Because, well, today's Canadian Conservative, with some exceptions, is all about wanting to be an American. I mean, Stephen Harper said it best. He gave a speech to a group of American oil investors. He opened it with, "My fellow Americans." And then he went on a lengthy rant about how terrible Canada was and how important it was for the Americans to take over Canada as quickly as possible. Yeah. And, of course, there was Brian Mulroney's compulsive ass-kissing to Ronald Reagan. But even at the provincial level, Conservatives, Doug Ford, and all the people at West who are currently running their provinces into the ground in order to try to bring in forced privatization of the public services, which do represent self-improvement on the part of this country. The driving force behind these people is the desire to be American. And so many of their voters want to be Americans. There are so many people in this country who desperately want to be Americans, and all I can say to you, if you're one of these, is the border is to the south. Go south until you hit the border and then cross. And don't come back when you discover that you have to pay for your medication and your health care directly out of pocket. Don't come crying back when you find out that there are no minimum wage laws down there. Don't come crying back when you learn that you are not going to be part of the billionaire class. It's not going to happen. You've made your decision. You want to be an American? Go be an American. Leave. Because this is Canada. And Canada isn't about claiming to be perfect. Canada is about accepting that we have flaws and shortcomings and working to improve ourselves. That's what Canada is about. Self-improvement. Becoming better. But of course, becoming better does require self-reflection. And in this country, there are people who don't like self-reflection because it means they have to actually think about things, and they don't want to do that. Maybe they'd be better off down south. Maybe they should go to Oklahoma and Texas, places where workers have to bid against each other to find out who can do the job for the least amount of money, aka right-to-work legislation, right-to-work laws. Union breaking, getting the workers to break their own unions. Yeah. And of course, the endemically open racism that is a normal part of America and always has been. Canada has also had a racism problem, but we've actually, for the most part, tried to fix it, whereas the Americans have tried to sweep it under the rug and pretend it's not there. Yeah. That's when they're not dragging it back out from under the rug and putting it back up on the wall where everybody can see it. Yeah. Two very different countries. Very, very different. A superficially similar language and a shared border. And plenty of awkwardness. Let's be honest. The people who vote for Trudeau don't worship him as a god, don't think of him as a messiah, and don't think of him as all that great. They just vote for him because the alternative is so much worse. People like, Jason Kenney, Vic Hughes, Pierre Poilievre, the people who literally want to destroy this country and turn it into the 51st state. Or maybe just a protectorate like Puerto Rico. Yeah. Yeah. Why are those people like that? Anyways, hopefully everybody here will have a good and happy Canada Day, and hopefully everybody here will do a little bit of self-reflection, asking what it is that makes Canada Canada, and thinking about the history of this country, the heritage of this country, the traditions of this country, what makes us a country, and what makes us a distinct country. Hopefully, people will think about it, and they will realize that Canada doesn't need to be more like the Americans. Canada needs to just keep on being Canada. Something to think about. Oh. Anywho. That's enough out of me. Ta-ta. Happy Canada Day.